GitHub looks scary at first. You open it up and see words like repository, commit, branch, pull request, clone, fork, merge, and suddenly it feels like you need a computer science degree just to save a project. Here's the truth. GitHub is not just for expert programmers. GitHub is a place where you can save, organize, share, track, and even publish projects. If you are learning AI, building websites, creating apps, saving prompts, working with code, or making digital projects, GitHub can become one of the most useful tools you learn. Today, GitHub from beginner to advanced. In plain English. Now, welcome to AI for real folks. Real tools, real talk, real results. What is GitHub? GitHub is a website where people store and share projects. Most use it for code, but it can also hold notes, documents, images, instructions, AI prompts, websites, and project files. The easiest way to think about it. GitHub is like Google Drive, but smarter. Google Drive stores your files. GitHub stores them too, but it also tracks every major change. You can go back in time, see what changed, restore older versions, work with other people, and publish certain projects online. GitHub is not just storage. It is project storage with history, teamwork, and sharing, all built in. Quick clarification. Git versus GitHub. Git is the tool that tracks changes in your project. GitHub is the website where you can store that project online. Git is the engine. GitHub is the garage. For beginners, you do not need to master Git commands on day one. Start with the GitHub website or GitHub Desktop. Learn the deeper stuff later. Why should regular people care? Because more people are using AI to create things. AI can help you write code, build websites, create apps, generate scripts, organize prompts, and make project plans. But once AI helps you create something, you need a place to save it. That is where GitHub helps. You can use it to save AI-generated code, website projects, prompt collections, design documentation, app ideas, automation scripts, learning notes, project files. Even if you are not a professional coder, GitHub keeps your projects organized. Now, the 7 GitHub words you need to know. 1. Repository. A repository in your repo is just a project folder. That is it. If you make a website, that website can live in a repository. Repository equals project folder. 2. README. A README is the instruction page for your project. It explains what the project is, how to use it, and anything people should know. Think of it like the label on the front of the folder. A good README answers, what is this project? What does it do? How do I use it? Who is it for? README equals project instructions. 3. Commit. A commit is a saved version of your project. Think of it like pressing save, but with a note attached, like added homepage, or fixed typo, or updated AI prompts. Each commit creates a checkpoint. You can look back and see what changed over time. Commit equals saved checkpoint. 4. Branch. A branch is a separate copy of your project, where you can test changes without messing up the main version. Imagine your main project is working. You want to try a new design. Instead of changing the real project right away, you make a branch. If the new idea works, you bring it back into main. If it does not work, your main project is still safe. Branch equals safe testing copy. 5. Pull request. A pull request is when you say, hey, I made some changes. Can we review them before adding them to the main project? Useful when working with a team. Pull request equals review before merging. 6. Clone. Clone means downloading a copy of a GitHub project to your computer. If a project is online and you want to work on it locally, you clone it. Clone equals download project copy. 7. Fork. Fork means making your own copy of someone else's project on GitHub. Useful when you want to experiment with a project without changing the original. Fork equals make your own copy. Okay, beginner project. Create your first repository. This project does not need coding. That is important. You can learn GitHub without starting with code. Create a repository called My First A Project. Inside it, add a README file. The README might say, project name, my first AI project. Purpose, a beginner-friendly place to save AI prompts and project ideas. What is inside, prompt examples, project notes, future ideas. Goal, learn how to use GitHub to organize AI projects. Now, you have a real GitHub project. Even if it is simple, this teaches the foundation. You learned how to create a repository, how to add a README, how to save project information, how GitHub organizes work. That is where beginners should start. Not with complicated commands. Start with a simple project folder online. What should you put in a GitHub project? A good beginner GitHub project can include a README, a notes folder for your ideas, a prompts folder for AI prompts you use, an images folder for screenshots or graphics, a code folder for scripts, apps, or website files, a changelog, simple list of what changed, a license, explains how other people are allowed to use your project. You do not need all of this on day one, but as your project grows, this structure keeps things clean. Intermediate level. GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop is a beginner-friendly app that helps you use GitHub without typing commands. Great for people who are not ready for the command line. With GitHub Desktop, you can clone a project to your computer, make changes to files, write commit messages, push changes back to GitHub, pull updates from GitHub, switch branches. Two important words. Push means sending your changes from your computer to GitHub. Pull means bringing changes from GitHub down to your computer. Push equals send up. Pull equals bring down. GitHub Desktop keeps both versions connected, the one online and the one on your machine. Intermediate level. How AI fits with GitHub. AI helps you create project files. GitHub helps you save and organize them. Example. Ask AI. Create a simple website for my AI for Real Folks channel. AI gives you HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You save those files in a GitHub repository. Commit your changes with the message. Added first website version. Later, ask AI to improve it. Make the homepage more colorful and beginner-friendly. Save the new version. Commit again. Updated homepage design. Now you have a history of your project. If something breaks, you're not starting over. You can go back and see exactly what changed. That is one of the biggest reasons GitHub is valuable. Advanced. Branches in more depth. Remember, a branch is a safe testing copy. Say your main project is working. You want to add a new feature, maybe a new page, a login screen, a chatbot, a new prompt library. Instead of changing main directly, create a branch. Call it something like new homepage design. Work on that version. If it works, you merge it back into main. If it does not, delete it. No harm done. This is how professionals avoid breaking the main project. Beginners can use the same idea. Rule. Do not experiment on the main version if the project matters. Make a branch first. Advanced. Pull requests, simply. A pull request sounds technical. The idea is simple. It is a review step. You're saying, I made changes on this branch. Let's review them before they go into main. Pull requests show what files changed, what lines changed, who made the changes, comments, whether the changes should be approved. If you work alone, pull requests can still help you review your own work. If you work with others, pull requests are very important. They prevent confusion and mistakes. So, Branch is where you test the change. Pull request is where you review it. Merge is when you add it to the main project. Advanced. GitHub Pages. Here's a fun feature. GitHub Pages lets you publish a simple website from a GitHub repository. If you create a basic website project, GitHub can host it online for free. Great for portfolio pages, project demos, simple landing pages, documentation, AI project showcases, beginner websites. For a channel like this, you could make a small project page with channel description, helpful AI links, beginner prompt examples, video resources, project downloads. Publish it with GitHub Pages. This is a great beginner to advanced bridge. It shows people that GitHub is not just storage. It can help them publish something real. Advanced. Collaboration. Another big reason people use GitHub. Teamwork. Multiple people working on the same project without emailing files back and forth. One person updates the README. Another works on the website. Another adds documentation. Another reviews changes. GitHub tracks who changed what. For beginners, this may feel advanced. The idea is simple. GitHub helps teams work on the same project without losing track of changes. Common beginner mistakes. Mistake 1. Trying to learn everything at once. You do not need to master all of GitHub in one day. Start with repositories, READMEs, and commits. Then branches. Then pull requests. Then GitHub pages. Mistake 2. Bad commit messages. Do not write. Stuff. Changes. Update. Write something clear. Added project notes. Updated homepage text. Fixed broken image link. Added AI prompt examples. Good commit messages help future. You understand what happened. Mistake 3. Working only on main. For small projects, this is fine. Once the project matters, use branches for experiments. Mistake 4. Uploading private information. Be careful. Do not upload passwords, private keys, personal information, sensitive files. GitHub is often public unless you make the repository private. Always check your settings. Mistake 5. Not writing a README. A project without a README is confusing. Even a simple README is better than nothing. Your roadmap. Beginner to advanced. Beginner level. Create an account. Create your first repository. Add a README. Upload a file. Make your first commit. Learn what public and private repositories mean. Intermediate level. Use GitHub Desktop. Clone a repository. Push and pull changes. Organize project folders. Write better README files. Save AI-generated code safely. Advanced level. Use branches. Create pull requests. Review changes. Merge branches. Publish with GitHub Pages. Collaborate. Connect GitHub to AI coding tools and workflows. You do not need to jump to advanced on day one. You need to take the next step. The cheat sheet. Repository, project folder. README, project instructions. Commit, saved checkpoint. Branch, save testing copy. Pull request, review before merging. Merge, combine changes into main. Clone, download a project copy. Fork, make your own copy of someone else's project. Push, send changes to GitHub. Pull, bring changes from GitHub to your computer. GitHub Pages, publish a simple website. Once you understand those 11 words, GitHub becomes much less scary. The big metaphor that ties it all together. GitHub is like a project notebook that remembers every version. Every commit is like saving a new page. Every branch is like trying an idea on a separate page before adding it to the final version. Every pull request is like asking, does this look good before we make it official? Hold that metaphor, and the rest of GitHub becomes much easier to navigate. Your challenge. Create a GitHub repository called My AI Learning Lab. Inside it, create a README with 3 sections. What I am learning. AI prompts I want to save. Projects I want to build. Then add your first prompt. Something like, Act as my personal assistant and help me plan my week. Or teach me GitHub like I am a beginner. Now you have your first AI learning project saved on GitHub. GitHub may look technical at first, but once you understand the basic idea, it becomes much easier. A place to save your projects, track changes, share your work, collaborate, even publish simple websites. And when you combine GitHub with AI, you can build real projects faster than ever before. So do not let the technical words scare you. Start with one repository, add one